Following Sariputta. The awareness of perception. Imagine looking out at the horizon until the mind stops insisting on where the world begins and ends. No edges, no borders, no here or there. Just space, vast, unbounded, impossible to grasp. That, according to the Aunupada Sutta, is exactly where Sariputta turned his attention during his 5th attempt at awakening. By this point in the story, Sariputta has already examined the Buddha's obstacles, the activities of mind, the nature of mindfulness, and the particulars of feeling. Each previous attempt revealed something valuable, and each revealed something incomplete. And so he moves forward, not out of failure, but out of completeness. His next task is to investigate perception itself. The quiet sculptor behind the scenes, endlessly slicing up the world into separate shapes. Early Buddhist psychology holds that perception isn't just passive seeing. It's an active process of labeling and dividing. Objects do not arrive pre-separated. The mind performs that carving on its own, creating distinctions that eventually crystallize into the experience of a self, standing apart from the world it perceives. If awakening requires dissolving the illusion of separation, then perception must be examined with extraordinary care. This is where Sariputta turns toward the meditative endeavor, known as the perception of infinite space. But this endeavor is often misunderstood. Sariputta isn't imagining an infinite universe, nor is he speculating about cosmology. He is adopting a perception, a way of framing experience that intentionally undermines the mind's instinct to differentiate. Instead of perceiving objects, boundaries, and categories, he inclines the mind toward the perception of unbounded space, a field with no edges, a world without divisions. The purpose is not to escape reality. The purpose is to witness the machinery of perception by temporarily loosening its grip. When the mind rests in the perception of infinite space, the usual sense of "I am here, the world is there" loses its authority. Space seems continuous. Boundaries lose definition. The perceiver and the perceived no longer appear as two separate events. And in this, Sariputta sees the mind's architecture with startling clarity. But here is the turning point. Sariputta does not mistake this expansiveness for liberation. Many meditators, ancient and modern, have equated spaciousness with awakening. But Sariputta's method is more rigorous. He observes the perception of infinite space the way a scientist observes a rare phenomenon, noting its arising, its stability, and its eventual fading. And he recognizes that even this refined state is conditioned. It relies on causes. It comes into being and passes away. Anything dependent cannot be the unconditioned freedom the Buddha describes. And so he investigates further. What sustains this perception? What subtle forms of pleasure accompany it? What habits of mind still remain? What happens when the perception dissolves? Each observation brings him one step closer to understanding that perception, any perception, is part of the machinery that keeps constructing the world of experience. With this insight, Sariputta reaches a sober but essential conclusion. There is still work to be done. That although the activity of perception can be temporarily set aside,
it inevitably returns.
Sariputta's fifth attempt is therefore not an endpoint, but a revelation, a clear recognition of the mind's subtle artistry. By examining perception at its most expansive, he learns neither to cling to spaciousness nor fall back into division. Instead, he prepares himself for the next, deeper investigation, knowing that awakening lies not in any particular perception, but in seeing through all of them.
And with that, his journey continues.